Hello YouTube friends, welcome to a day in the life of Kate at the Last Homely House. This video is going to be all about what I do on one of my busy days here. And there's lots going on. I hope you enjoy following along with what I do. I start off the day by watching a YouTube channel. This is an artist called Michelle Kral, or Mitsi B, and I'll leave a link in the description below, because Michelle paints not every morning but most mornings at 7:30 British summertime, and I'm does a live painting, drawing or whatever, and I'm one of the moderators on the channel. And so I always check to see, is Mitzi painting today? And if she is, then I make myself a cup of coffee and I sit myself down and I do the moderating and the chat. And at the moment she's doing several things, but because she's getting her garden ready to be open for the open gardens, and I'm going to go to that. So I hope to do a bit of filming when I go to the open gardens at Mitzi's. But at the moment, she's either painting beautiful watercolour flowers from her garden, or she's making a book for her granddaughter. She has a granddaughter who's a little bit older than Agnes. And she's making a book for her, which is all the illustrations from Winnie the Pooh, the proper E.H. Shepherd illustrations. And she's very, very good at getting just the right nuance feel of these illustrations. So this morning she was doing one of the drawings, it's the one where Winnie the Pooh gets stuck in Rabbit's hole, and Rabbit's very cross about it. And so the bit of film that comes first is me moderating that channel, and then there's all sorts goes on after that. Anna was working here with me today, and so we had a really lovely few hours getting things from the shipping room sorted out and doing some planning for all the things that we do here, and that was really lovely. I had to make a little trip into Hexam to do a couple of jobs that were scheduled for today. So we go along to Hexam. We have a nice little surprise along the road to Hexam there. That's lovely. And so it's just one of my ordinary days, really, and I hope you enjoy it. And this is what's coming next. Then is a day in Kate's life.
Might need to bring back to more of a reddy brown. Too much, obviously it's too much. Yeah, Jake, Bob a job. Can I remember that? I'm supposed to have some people coming to help me at some point, but
Hello? Hello patrons. I'm going to introduce this newest along to us now. I'm really quite excited about it because this is a block I've been wanting to make for ages and I don't know why I've never made it. But this is a star block, a wonky star block.
Sorry.
So what's the date today?
I never know.
It's
9th
of
June.
I'm going to introduce this newest along to us now. I'm really quite excited about it because this is a block I've been wanting to make for ages and I don't know why I've never made it. I'm using some little scraps of purple. These are 2.5-inch squares. I found these in my mum's. So this is that I've sewn one POJAGI curtain together, this one. And I'm going to sew the second one together because you need a pair of curtains, don't you? So I'm going to sew the second one together now. Now, I guess in order to see better, I'm going to have to move you along slightly, aren't I? Sorry, Norma. We're going to have to disturb your repose. Let's try it. There you go. Oh, she says, I don't like that. Okay, so I've sewn all the cross pieces together, and the only thing I'm being careful about is making sure that all the seams are going down, and also that they're the right way round. So that one's going up, and I need the seams to be lining up. So I'm just going to do that first of all, so that works there. These curtains are a little bit longer than they need to be, but I think that's quite nice. And I need a pair of scissors because sometimes when they're not quite lined up like there, I'm just giving that a little trim, just a little tiny trim. I keep reminding myself they're just curtains, Norma. They don't have to be amazing. Well, they are amazing, but they don't have to be, you know, it's not an evening gown, is it? Okay, so I'm going to just start pinning these together. And you're not helping at all, Norma. I'm going to pin them all because then I can just sit at the sewing machine and just crack on and do the whole thing. So the way that I'm going to sew these is actually, I'll just get Anna to move round so that she can take a closer picture of what it is I'm doing here. So I've sewn the long runs together, and now I'm going to sew those together. So the double seam there, which is the right side of the curtain or the block, goes down, and so it's wrong sides together, which is exactly the opposite of what you would imagine. And also I'm going to eyeball it. You can measure this if you like, but I'm going to eyeball just over 1/4 inch because these are going to fit together in that lovely POJAGI way. I eyeball this, and I'm going to put a pin in every junction. The lovely thing, I always say this about fabric, if that doesn't quite fit, you can always stretch it just a little bit and you can ease it in. So I'm just going to put a pin here at every point with that gap there. Because when I come back to sew these now, let's do the last one. Actually, I don't like that there, so I'll just straighten that up. This is not perfect. You do it properly with a, oh sorry Nora, with a rotary cutter, but it doesn't matter for what I'm doing here. There's a time for absolute accuracy and there's a time for winging it, and I'm winging this. Pin in there. So when I come to stitch this together now, I'm going to do a stitch line all the way along here at 1/4 inch, and then I'm going to open it up. Well, I'll do it. That'll be the easiest way, won't it? I'm going to pin all of these now and sew the whole lot together in so that it's sewn together once, and then I'll show you what I do with it after that. So I've pinned all those junctions on 11 runs. I've done 11 across and 7 down. And now I'm going to find the first one. Where is it? Wrong sides together with 1/4 inch or so sticking out. Let's turn this whole thing round. Of course it's the wrong way round. And then if you come and have a close look at what I'm doing here, I'm just going to stitch together. It's around about 1/4 inch there, something like that. And when I've done all 11 in this way, I'll show you how I fold it over and make that single seam. It's a bit like doing a French seam, but flat. This machine is perfect for something like this. Lovely big long runs. You can just put your foot down. So that's my next half hour sorted out. So I've done all these seams with the 1/4 inch excess, and now I'm folding that under and sewing that down, which is what gives you the double row of stitching on the outside of the block here, which is what I've got here, and it's also what I've got here. So this is, it's quite easy. I get to a junction here and I just tuck the big where all the seams come together. I tuck that together and hold that with my finger. This machine's great for going over big lumps like that. And then I just get to the next junction and fold that under. Just make sure that it's beautifully folded and that I haven't got that trapped. To the next junction, and I'm tucking that extra 1/4 inch that we left sticking out under the seam, like so. And then whizzing along, giving me that double row of stitching. I've got all of this to do, and then there's one more thing to do after that, before I give it a final press, and then the curtain's ready. How long have I been making these curtains for? I think about 3 years. But we're finally going to have a finish, probably one of my longest finishes. So I'll carry on now and do the rest of that. And then I'll just show you when I'm doing around the outsides. So now I've finished sewing all the seams together, the long runs together, I'm going to neaten off the top, bottom and sides. Just folding it over and over. And I'm going to go round with a simple machine stitch, but I'm going to go round twice. So first of all, I'll just sew it down, But then I absolutely don't need to do this, but in order to echo this lovely double seam here, I'm going around the top, sides and bottom twice as well, which just takes a long time. But then it'll be finished. But what really makes it look fabulous is a really, really good pressing with loads of steam, because that makes it lovely and crisp. Well, I think we're nearly at the point where we can hang these up. Not much longer. Oh, it's exciting finishing something that's been on the go for so long.
Looks so nice.
I really like them.
I love the seams.
Yeah, you do.
They look so neat, don't they?
Yeah, this double run of stitching, which gives you that stained glass look to it. And it looks like the summer sky. I like them open and I like them closed. Oh, 3 years. Finally done them. Well, that's my first purchase. My daughter Martha said my tomatoes needed a better compost, a more enriched compost. So I've just picked that up for her, and now we'll go on to the next place. I'm at the supermarket now, and I always feel a little bit weird filming in the supermarket, so I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to go in and get a few groceries and something for my supper, and I'll see you back out here. That's about the silliest bit of filming I've ever done. I'm home now, it's about 6 o'clock, and I'm really quite tired. So for those people who think, oh, I've got loads of energy, I'll show you what I'm going to do for the next hour. I'm going to sit and knit for a bit with Arne and Carlos, because they promised me they're only going to be 15 minutes. We know that's not true. And the knitting that I've got, I'm just knitting a little dishcloth, a yellow one, because it doesn't take any thinking. So I'm going to sit and watch the boys for an hour or 15 minutes or whatever it is, and knit for a while, and then I'll make some supper. Tired now.
There's water under.
That's where the cloudberries grow.
Yeah. Helmer. Nej. Nej.
I have to throw this out. Okay. And then I walked over this wetland thing where the cloudberry is growing, because that's where this bird is dancing in the morning. So I was looking for it, but it was around 7 o'clock, so it was too early. So
then we got something from a very dear friend who we've never met, but
we should go to meet as soon as they open.
Yeah, but we're gonna go visit her in England as soon as we can. Kate from the last homely house. If you're not watching her channel, you should. And she's doing some fabulous things with quilting right now, and it makes me want to start quilting. We should definitely do some quilting. Anyway, Kate.
But not now.
Yeah, Kate. Suddenly, now and then she'll send us a little gift. Because she makes stuff to sell in her. She's got a little web shop, and she's got this great little warehouse now with her daughter-in-law. They're packing things. I'm sure they're wrapping things beautifully and putting all the love in the things that they're sending out. They've got like homemade candles, and she sent us this tea towel, I believe it is. It's really nice.
It's so nice.
It's got this whole. I don't know if you can see it, but
and she said that some of her customers they're actually doing embroidery.
Yeah.
On these drawings.
Yeah.
And we're going to do that too.
Maybe something we should try also in the future.
So thank you, Kate, for sending us another UFO.
The sun is coming so strong, so
exactly.
now I have to go this way.
Okay, come.
Because I have this black.
Yeah.
I have a black.
Aren't they lovely, Arne and Carlos?
Here. Anyway, Kate, thank you so much for sending us an unfinished object that now we have to finish. But we look forward to that. We will embroider a little bit on it. But I think maybe more pops of color here and there, not the whole thing.
No, just the thing.
I have to say, I really like the material. I really like this material is great. And we're going to use this. I've got a lot of lovely kitchen towels because I collect them. And I think I'm going to definitely hang this when it's done on my stove, on the handle of my oven.
But you have to add some embroidery. I think that was a good idea.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
As it's such very good drying weather, I'm going to take the quilt backs that I sorted out the other day, especially the duvet and the sheet, and I'm going to take them out and wash them and iron them. But I'm going to do them maybe one or two at a time, because the ironing's like really boring. and then I'll get them dry and pack them away again. So I'll start with just those two and pop them in the washing machine so that I can get those washed. There's probably some sort of a dressing on this, isn't there? Some sort of a starch, and that'll be more helpful when they're quilted, if they've had that washed out. So I'll get that first one and this one. We'll do these two. I might get those out on the washing line tomorrow if it's still a beautiful day, and I think it's going to be. While I was sitting and knitting with Arne and Carlos before they did that lovely shout out with the tea towel that made me jump, aren't they sweet boys? But I want to show you the knitting that I'm doing. Now, I like to have several bits of knitting on the go at a time, several bits of sewing, bit of hand sewing, machine sewing. I like to have lots of projects on. I think you've gathered that by now. So this was the cloth that I was knitting when I was listening to Arne and Carlos, and I'll finish that one. It's just an ordinary dishcloth. I was knitting these, at the beginning of the pandemic, I was knitting dishcloths for all I was worth in all sorts of colours. And I just decided that I'd like a few more for me to use in the kitchen. So that's just an easy knit, that one. And then you've seen this one many times. This is the mitered square blanket. It's not much further on since the last time you saw it, but that's okay. I just picked that one up and knit that when I feel like it. But what I've got in this basket here, two things. I'll show you this one first. This is some beautiful wool. I can never pronounce it. It's Kayunai. It's from Estonia. It's beautiful, beautiful wool that's very variegated. And I'll show you what I'm knitting with that. It's in this basket here. And again, this is knitting that is just incredibly easy to do. It's just not hard. It's moss stitch. And actually, this was what I was knitting when Arne and Carlos said hello to me one time. And I knit one whole row of moss stitch wrong and I had to unpick the whole row. But can you see with this one, with the variegated, it starts off and goes through a beautiful gradation of rainbow colours. And I really like this one. It's going to be, if I get to that point. Now, this might be a little bit like the indigo curtains. This might take a long time, but I think you know, don't you, by now, that I do get round to finishing these things eventually. I think I've proved that today. So this one then, it's going to be a waistcoat for me. I'm making this one for me, and it's going to be, it's not quite, let's tip you down a bit. You can see now, it's not quite long enough. It's going to go here. I don't want it long, very long, but I do want it a bit longer than that. And so I'll keep you updated on progress with that one. So that's a very, very easy knit. This is a very easy knit. And the mitered square blanket's very easy knit. But I have a very complicated knit. And I'll show it to you. I'm fairly sure that my daughter doesn't watch me on this channel. So if you're watching, Martha, look away now, because this I'm knitting here is it is for Agnes for her birthday. Now her birthday's in October, so we're going to be fine for October, and it's a neck down Fair Isle. This is the yoke. I've just finished the yoke, and I'm just dividing now for the sleeves. So that's going to be a sleeve and that's going to be a sleeve, knit down there, and then the body's knit down. And then there is another pattern. I think, is the pattern in here? Yeah, the pattern's in here somewhere. It's a lovely pattern that I downloaded. Where is the pattern? Here it is. It's a pattern called, well, it's sort of Norwegian. I can't pronounce that. FJALL, fall with a silent J. And this is from a company called North Child. I found it on Etsy. And it's a really nice pattern, and the wool is beautiful. Let me show you. Here we go. This is Norwegian wool from Lopi. It's beautiful, subdued, kind of. Come on, keep walking, keep walking. Go on, keep walking. So when you look at my yellow dishcloth and then you look at my sort of more subtle bit of Fair Isle in all these subtle colours, I think it'll fit Agnes. She'll be 2. I think it'll fit Agnes when she's 2. It seems quite big to me at the moment. And maybe it'll be a good winter sweater for her. But this one requires a great deal of concentration, counting and concentration. There it is when it's finished. There, and so you knit the body. I've knit to here. So you knit the body, and then there's another bit of pattern at the bottom and round the cuffs as well of the sleeves. And so I've got all these beautiful yarns. And that's when I feel like doing it something a little bit more complicated, when I'm watching something that doesn't need me to pay any attention. But when, when I'm watching something that doesn't need me to pay attention. Yes, because I need to pay attention on this. But these 3 that I'm doing here, I just, it depends what sort of mood I'm in, whether I pick this one up and do a row of this one. So that's just the knitting projects I've got on the go at the moment. Yes, if I don't cover them over, the cats do like to sleep in the baskets, and so I do try to keep them covered with something. So I think probably though tonight what I'll do is I've got my supper cooking, and I'll finish this yellow dishcloth, because that's not going to take much finishing. I may not have quite enough yarn, in which case I'll put a little tip of blue or pink or yellow, or no, this is yellow, blue or pink or green or something on, just to finish the end. So yeah, that's the knitting that's on the go at the moment. And that's the end of my day, really, because I'm really quite tired now. So I'm going to eat my supper when it's ready. What's the time? 8 o'clock. So I'm going to eat my supper and get myself tidied round, and then have a lovely sleep in my bedroom with my indigo curtains. So I hope you've enjoyed following along with this, my day. It's been fun to film, quite interesting to film, because I'm doing things that I normally do, and I'm having to set the camera up and turn the camera on and film that. And Anna was here for some of that, which was really, really great. So if you're still here and you've enjoyed that, then give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the Last Homely House channel, because that would be wonderful. And if you click the notifications bell, you'll always know when I'm posting a new video. Also, over on Patreon, we're going to be starting, those people at that level are going to be starting a new quilt project with me, which is a new quilt project for me as well, because it's not a block I've ever made before. And so I'm going to be quite excited about making that one. It's going to be very, very colourful and quite detailed. So I'm looking forward to doing that over there. And then there's always the Friday videos as well. This last week that's just gone was cooking, one of the cooking challenges. And next week on Friday, it's my son John, who does a series all about the things that he enjoys doing once a month. So there's always that stuff going over on Patreon and some other stuff as well. So thank you very much indeed for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.